Hey there. Let's get practical for a minute. When we think of collaboration as entrepreneurs, most of us think of things like sharing each other's posts, affiliate marketing, referring clients, co hosting a webinar, things like that. These are great, but they're just the beginning. Collaborative entrepreneurship or collaboration exists on a spectrum, and there are levels of collaboration that we can explore, most of which we haven't really touched on as entrepreneurs. So, as I said, when we often think of collaboration, we're thinking generally of what I call transactional collaboration. And these are in categories like co marketing, where you're really getting access to somebody else's network to grow your own. Things like resource sharing, trading time with each other, trading resources, things like that. Or advisory, where you're in a mastermind together, or you have a personal board of advisors. These are all forms of transactional collaboration, and they're fantastic. Um, but there are deeper levels of collaboration that we can explore and should explore as entrepreneurs as well, so that we can start looking at how we might shift beyond that myth of solo entrepreneurship. Now, it's not for everyone, but it is something that we really ought to consider. So, when we get into these deeper levels, what we see is that the relationships that we need to build become more important. The alignment that's required becomes more important. So that relationship quality increases as we move into more co creative levels of collaboration. And you'll also notice that over here on the right, our level of integration increases as well. So the further you kind of dive into co creative collaboration, the more your work is intertwined, the more your business and the more that your success is connected to each other. And so, as we look at co creative collaboration, we're looking at things like strategic partnerships, at joint ventures, and business partnerships. I'm going to explore a little bit of these as we move forward. And in the lab, you're going to focus on creating an offer together, like a joint venture, and creating a business together. So, when we look at the distinction between strategic partnerships, joint ventures, and business partnerships, what we're really looking at is how integrated we become with each other. And so, that shift is from, we're connected strategically in our businesses, shifting down into we've joined together to create a singular business together. Before I dive into a few different examples of co creative entrepreneurship, I want to give you a preview of a document that you're going to see once you're in the lab with us. This is a document that kind of outlines what we see as potential models of collaborative entrepreneurship. And it's broken down into transactional collaboration ideas and co creative models as well. It's going to give you descriptions and examples of them. So really utilize that document when you get into your breakout rooms to help like loosen it up and really kind of get creative so that that thought experiment together can be as expansive as possible. Um, so let's explore a few different ways that we see entrepreneurs coming together in a co creative way. And this is for joint ventures, it's for strategic partnerships, and it's for actually creating businesses together, those real business partnerships. Um, First, we see something that kind of looks like an optimized unit, right? Those are entrepreneurs with complementary skills, gifts, strengths coming together to create a single operationally cohesive offering or business for their shared niche. And I want to give you an example of this. So let's say Mary, Cole, Irving, and Alex, right, meet up. They find each other. Mary's a social media strategist, Cole's a graphic designer, Irving is an influencer and copywriter, and Alex is a sales and operations maven. And, they each really love what they do. And they're not so crazy or have been kind of unsuccessful in doing the other things, right? But they got together and they realized that they could create a single social media marketing firm, connecting their strengths to serve their shared niche better. So, what we see is like we're connecting those strengths together and compensating for those weaknesses to create a whole business that serves all of the pieces. Now, there may be some pieces missing, but together they're going to figure out how to fill all of those gaps. On the other hand, we see entrepreneurs coming together in mission driven units as well. And this I would describe as individuals sharing a common purpose or addressing a specific societal need and coming together, pooling their resources and knowledge to amplify their collective impact. And an example of this might be Gina, Adam, and Shauna all share a passion for serving kids and their parents with ADHD. And they believe that if we embrace ADHD for the superpower it is, everyone wins. So you can see this is, they individually have businesses or missions that really surround this singular belief or purpose or mission that they all have together. It's not as important what they individually do, although that becomes incredibly helpful after they join forces. But in this case, they decided to create a co op of connected support and resources to offer parents and kids, to pool what they each individually do to create more impact, to create more benefit for the people that they set out to serve. And they realized they could do that collectively better than they could do it alone.